Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Dani and today it's time for my February M&M's TBR. If you're new here, the M&M's TBR is a game that I play every month in which I choose the books that I'm going to read the following month. So the game is very simple. I get two M&M's. The first one goes on the top, the second goes on the side, and whatever prompt I get, I have to pick a book to read on the following month. I'm very excited also to kind of give you a sneak peek of a new game that I'm going to be introducing in my channel next month, which is going to include this beautiful, colorful jars of gems. I don't know what the game's gonna be called yet, but do subscribe if you want to see what this is going to mean, how this is going to work, and where this is going to be included in a video in the future. But today it's all about the February M&M's TBR, which I'm very excited for. I have some other plans for different type of vlog things also for February that I'm very excited for. But let's see how I did in January, because that's going to impact the first prompt that I'm going to put on the board. If you watched my January M&M's TBR, you know that I changed the game a little bit. Now I'm picking 6 books, and depending on how many books I read, that's going to define which is the first prompt that's going to go on the board. And I changed that because I thought it was very punishing to be like all or nothing. I would have to read all the books to get a reward, or if I didn't read one of them, I would get a punishment. And I didn't think that was fair. And it was preventing me from reading a lot of other things that I also wanted, but still the books from the M&M's are my priority. So those were the books that I picked in January. The first one is The Arithmetist by Brandon Sanderson. This one was for the prompt of or the, and I did read it. The second was Little Women, which was for the prompt of a classic, and I also read it. The next is Fullmetal Alchemist volume, 15. This was for the prompt of series, and I also read it. Then we have Every Heart a Doorway by Shannon McGuire. This was for the prompt of fantasy, and I did read it. Next we have Keeper of the Lost Cities volume 2. Well, that's not what it's called. It's called Exile, but it's the second book in the Keeper of the Lost Cities series. And I am reading this still. Today is the 23rd of January, I think. So I'm definitely going to finish this. I'm on page, I read more than this actually. I'm on page maybe like 60. So I'm definitely going to be finishing this, and this counts for the M&M's because I will complete it in the month. And this was for the prompt of high rating. And last but not least, we have Sherlock Holmes volume 1. This was for the prompt of, oh, I don't have the prompt here. It was for one of the new prompts that are not going to leave the board. I think maybe 2019 or the orange one, I don't know. But it was from one of those prompts, and I'm not going to have time to get to this book. I really want to, and a lot of people mentioned on my January TBR that there's an audiobook narrated by Stephen Fry that has like all the stories for Sherlock Holmes, and I'm very, very interested in that. It's just that not enough time in the month because I read other things as well. So I didn't get to this one, unfortunately. So that means that from the 6 books, I read 5. Basically, 4 and above is kind of good prompts, but as many books as I read, I get a better prompt, and the fewer books I read, I get worse prompts. So I read 5 books, which is really good. It is what I used to get from the M&M's last year. So 5 books is really, really good. And for that, I'm going to get a 5-star prediction, which is a great prompt because I want to be reading books that I'm very excited for and that I think I'm going to give 5 stars. That's always my plan. So I'm going to get the 5-star prediction prompt to put here. It's going to be the first prompt on the board for February. I didn't have the prompt ready. I had to cut this right now, but this is the prompt that is going on the board. 5-star prediction. It has the purple thing around it, so I will remember that it is from the books that I read in the previous month. What are my plans for February? I have quite a few arcs and new releases that I pre-ordered that I want to read. I also have the buddy read from Discord that I want to put this here on this TBR. I have, what else? There's a Polarthon, which is a readathon created by JD Ray Reads. I'm going to leave her channel in the description. I'm not going to try to fit the books here on this video in the TBR, for the TBR for the readathon, but if I can, when the readathon comes, on the week of the readathon, I'm going to try to prioritize those. Let me check my planner. Okay, so I have arcs. I have NetGalley arcs as well. I have physical arcs and NetGalley arcs. If you've seen my goals for the year, I want to prioritize my NetGalley arcs, so I do want to put at least one on the CBR if I can. I also have other goals like the Buzzwordathon, which the book for the Discord will fit the Buzzwordathon, so that's already done, because even if I can't fit the Discord book here, I'm going to read it anyway during the month. And Agatha Christie is also one of my goals for the year, so hopefully I can fit one of her books on the TBR. I have a lot of plans for February. We'll see what the M&Ms have in store for me. Now I can start. So the first M&M for the first book is yellow. The second M&M for the first book is green. And I got Start Series. Is this something I should be doing? No. One of my other goals is to finish the series I start. And I'm supposed to start a new series in February. Let me think. Oh, I have one book that's the start of a thriller series. Or I could do something else. Let me think. There are two that I really want to read. And there are others that I should read to fulfill my goals. Okay, I'm going to pick one of the thrillers that I have that is the first in a series. I don't know when the second one is coming out, and I don't know much about what this is about, but it is The Lost Ones by Sheena Kamal. This is a detective thriller series, so I'm guessing like the next books we're going to be continuing following this detective. The series is called Nora Watts, and I'm very excited for it. I'm very excited for all the thrillers that I bought at the end of last year. And there's not a lot of information here on the back about what this book is about, but it looks like there's a missing girl, and that's as much as I want to know about this book going in. But yes, so this is the first book on my February TBR. I'm really excited about it. Let's replace the prompt. These cards are getting stuck on each other, and like it's hard to get one. Okay. Reread. The first M&M for the second book is brown. The second M&M for the second book is orange. And I got random shelf. What this means is that I'm going to randomize the shelves that I have for TBR books, and I have to pick a book from the shelf that I get. So what I'm going to do is I have 3 shelves also on my TBR cart, and 1, 2, 3, 4 on the shelf. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 for the bookshelf, and then 5, 6, 7 for the TBR cart. Let me record my screen. Okay, so I have to put 7, right? 7, and generate. Nope, generate. So I have to pick a book from the 5th shelf, which is the first one on my TBR cart, which has all the books that I'm more excited about. Let me pick something. I'm going to take a photo right now of the top shelf of the TBR card so you kind of see what it looks like. Okay, so like I said, the top shelf of my TBR card has the books that I'm more excited about and that I want to prioritize in the month. So I had my Discord Buddy Read book there to pick, and I had some arcs, and that's what I'm going with because I think that the Discord book might be easier to fit on another prompt in the future. Either way, I'm going to read it, but I think this one might be harder to fit in another prompt in the future. So the one I'm going with is Ecstasia by Clary Legrand. This arc was sent to me by HarperCollins. Thank you so much for sending this. I'm really excited. This is pretty much, it feels like a horror thing, but I think there's a lot of fantasy involved as well. That happens on a village, and I think it's a little bit of a cult-like village. And there's this girl, the men start to die, and then there are these girls who will try to figure out what's happening and like defeat the big bad being that is terrorizing this village. I don't know much about what to expect from this book. I've never read anything by Clary Legrand before, but I've heard amazing things about the author, and I hope I love it so I can recommend to you in the next month. It comes out in February, so I'm really happy that I'm going to fit on the CBR to be able to read before it comes out. Let's replace the prompt. This. Viewer recommend. If this comes up, I'm going to pick a book that was recommended by one of my viewers. The plan really for this prompt is that I'm going to film a video with all my TBR books so that I can use the comments in that video to get a book for this prompt. So if this comes up in this video, you're going to have to recommend things to me. But let's see if it can wait until next month or so, so I can have time to film the video of all my own TBR books. First M&M for the third book is green. The second M&M for the third book is red. This is really nice. Short book. I have to pick a book that's short. I usually go with like less than 300 pages for a short book. So let me pick something. Okay, the book that I'm going to pick for a short book is one that I have digitally and is the second book in the Hercule Poirot series by Agatha Christie. It's called The Murder on the Links, or The Murder on the Links. You can see here the cover of it. And it has 208 pages according to Goodreads. Of course, there are a lot of editions that were published already of this book, so it can vary a lot. But if the first edition that's showing up on Goodreads has 208 pages, I don't think any of them is going to be over 300 pages. So this is going for a short book, and I'm really excited about it because it's one of my goals to read Agatha Christie. So it's there on the TBR. Let's replace the prompt. This one. Recent purchase. We always like this. And the first M&M for the fourth book is yellow. The second M&M for the fourth book is what's this? Red. One of the prompts are trying to escape here. It's a 5-star prediction. It shouldn't escape. Stay there. Oh my god. Okay, so we got the prompt, always fully booked. It's really hard to read because I tried to use the same font of the planner. Well, not the same, just like a general idea of what the font of the planner is. And in this planner, as I've shown in my goals video, there are quite a few different challenges, reading challenges here. And this is what the prompt is about. I'm going to get the main reading challenge from this page and pick a book that fits one of the prompts here. I haven't started yet to fill the books, the challenge with the books that I have already read. So I'm going to try to find something that I can fit here, but that I don't have a book that I already read that would fit here, if that makes sense. Okay, so the prompt that I'm going to choose to fulfill from this challenge is the last prompt. Basically, it is a book everyone is talking about. And the book that I'm going to choose for a book that everyone is talking about is Gallant by V. Schwab. I also have an arc on NetGalley for this book, and I'm so happy about it. I'm so excited to read this before it's released in March, so I can also let you know if you should read it as well. So that's the book that I'm going with. It is a book that everyone is talking about even before the release, especially before the release, because the hype is so big for this book. So Gallant by V. Schwab is going on my, what's this, February TBR. Let's replace the prompt. This, what's this, sci-fi. 2 more books, and let's hope I can fit the other things that I want to read here. Okay, the first M&M for the 5th book is blue. The second M&M for the 5th book is blue again. And we got a book that I hauled in this period of time from the TBR jar, so I have zero control of what is going to come from this one, but I'm very happy about this because I get to show you my new jar, because last month I just had one temporary because I didn't have any, but I bought one that's really cute. So I'm going to put this prompt back on the board, but it is the blue paper that I have to get from the jar. Look at this, it's so cute. It's basically a TBR bowl now, not a jar, but it's really cute and I'm really happy. I'm going to, before I start, I pick one, I'm going to make sure, check on my book log, my spreadsheet, if I have all the books from this period here already, because I added some like NetGalley books that maybe I hauled in that time period and they're not here yet. So I'm just going to check that and I'll be back to pick a book from the jar, from the bowl. I just realized that this includes all of the new books that I hauled, pretty much all of the new books that I hauled in my last book haul. So that's awesome, that's really, really good. Okay, and there are some that I have to add here, so I'm going to do that and I'll come back to the video after that. Okay, it took me a little bit of time to update this to make sure I have everything that should be here. Let's mix it up a little bit. Truly, the blue ones are the ones that have the most papers, so we'll see. Okay. Let me get this one. And I need something to put on the back. Before I open this, one thing that a lot of people mentioned on the previous TBR that I also got a paper was that for series I should put the name of the series instead of the name of each individual book, because if I haven't read the second book I can't read the third book and things like that. But there are some series that I hold in different times, so I prefer to have them as separate books and just pick a new book if I haven't got to that point in the series yet. But let's see what this one is going to be. Okay. Oh my god. Okay, I'm really happy about this. It is The Secret History, which is a book that I'm highly anticipated, and I just can't believe I haven't read this yet, so let me get the book. Here it is, The Secret History by Donna Tartt. This is a book that's like a dark academia story about a group of students in a university, and I think someone died. That's how I always describe this book. The same with If You Were Villains, because I think they are always described together and with the same idea of a plot. But what I think this is about is, I think one of the students killed someone or someone died, and they have to figure out what's happening. I'm very, very excited to finally get to this book. The font is much tinier than I thought it would be. But everyone loves this so much, and I really want to see how I feel about this story because it's so popular, and I'm really happy. I'm really happy about this one. Okay, let's replace the prompt. Oh, we're not replacing the prompt. Never mind. That prompt stays there. So we're just picking new M&Ms. The first M&M for the sixth and last book is yellow. The second M&M for the last book is orange, and it's a bit broken. And we got horror. I don't know which of the books that I own are kind of considered more horror than thrillers. I always put thriller, horror, mystery all together because I can't really know what the book is about until I've read it. So let me see what I'm going to pick for horror. Okay, I have a really good book for this one. It's one that I pre-ordered and it comes out in February 8th, so I'm going to have it here to read. And I'm really excited for this one. It's called Dead Silence by S.A. Barnes. It is compared to, it says that it's a Titanic meets The Shining, and it is a sci-fi horror novel about a ghost ship and a crew that has to endure some horrors that happen. So it looks like it's something fell. It looks like it's a very good book for this prompt because it's very obviously a horror novel. And it's one that I'm pre-ordered, so I'm really excited to be able to read it as soon as I get the book. And I think that's it for the 6 books. I did not put the buddy read book here, which is In My Dreams I Hold a Knife by Ashley Winstead. But I am going to read a book anyway, so let's see what are all the books that I'm going to read in February, or at least what I'm going to attempt to read in February. So we have this 3 books, so the last ones for not a series, for starting a series, Extasia for Random Shelf, The Secret History for the TBR Bowl, and then we have That Silence for Horror, Gallant for a book that everyone is talking about, which was a prompt that I picked for the Always Fully Booked prompt. A Murder on the Links by Agatha Christie, which is a short book. I am truly super excited about all of these books. Plus I have also In My Dreams I Hold a Knife. I don't know if I have enough time on the month to read all of this. But it's going to be great. I'm anticipating this is going to be an awesome reading month with all of these books to pick from. The next prompt here is going to be picked on February, depending on how many of the 6 books I read, but I'm truly expecting that I'm going to get to all of them, if I have enough time on the month, because I do want to get to all of them. I'm really excited about this month. Let me know if you've read any of these books and which ones you think that I'm going to enjoy the most, and which ones you're more excited for me to tell you about. That's it for the CBR. Remember to like and subscribe, and thank you so much for joining me. Bye!